Hello, hello! Today we're talking about something fairly significant. Google has finally released its first official guidelines on AI optimization. And honestly, it's about time. For the last couple of years, most of us have been trying to figure out how Google's AI features work based on educated guesses, theories, case studies, and various LinkedIn posts claiming they've cracked the code. But now, Google has finally stepped in, telling us what's what. And in this video, we're going to break down what Google says, what it means for SEO and AI visibility, and which popular optimization tactics might not be as helpful as we thought. Let's go! The first thing that caught our eye was Google settling the score on whether SEO and GEO were actually different. It declared that, from Google Search's perspective, optimizing for generative AI search is optimizing for the search experience, and thus still SEO. Look at that. One and the same. Moving on, the guidelines begin with answering a very important question. How does Google's AI actually find information in the first place? The official document specifies two techniques: retrieval-augmented generation and query fan-out. Now, these techniques aren't exclusively used for AI. They're part of Google's broader core ranking algorithm that also determines what gets priority on the SERPs. Retrieval-augmented generation, or RAG, uses live web search to fetch newly indexed pages from the SERPs to ensure users aren't served outdated information. Sounds simple enough. Query fan-out has a different framework. Say you ask Google something. The system quietly fires a bunch of related searches in the background to fetch relevant information. Say you ask something like, how do I get rid of acne? And Google will search best acne products, foods for clear skin, and other relevant topics that fit the broader context of the original query. And while all that seems merely a source reference, it highlights strategies that could inadvertently affect visibility for generative AI engines. Now, there's been an ever-growing list of GEO myths perpetuated by self-proclaimed experts selling snake oil strategies. These new guidelines from Google help separate fact from fiction, starting with the LLMs.txt file. If only I had a nickel for every time someone suggested LLMs.txt. I'd have a lot of nickels, and I'd take those coins to the bank. Now, while this markdown may not be completely irrelevant for all LLMs, Google doesn't particularly treat it as a special source file for its AI features. To be eligible for these features, all you have to do is make sure your pages are indexable and not blocked by robots.txt, and no special markdowns are required. Next up, the famous rewrite everything for AI strategy. Shorter paragraphs, chunked sections, and content designed specifically for robots. Sounds like it makes a lot of sense, but Google says that it's not that important. In their words, there's no requirement to break your content into tiny pieces for AI to better understand it. Simply write it the way that best serves the topic and your audience. And expanding further on what type of content works best for AI, Google emphasizes the importance of non-commodity content. By that they mean content that provides unique expert or experienced takes on a topic that goes beyond common knowledge. In their own example, they say something like 7 tips for first-time homebuyers is common knowledge. Anyone can pull that out of anywhere. But something like why we waived the inspection and saved money, a look inside the sewer line. It's truly unique. Non-commodity content. And of course, make sure the content you write complies with the standard guidelines for helpful, reliable, and people-first content. And it doesn't hurt to throw in videos and images into the mix as well, because we all know AI loves pulling those into answers. Now, at this point, websites still mass-producing content with the hopes of getting more pages in the Google sphere are really just playing with fire. The backfire kind of fire. Something that can be viewed as a manipulative strategy, violating the scaled content abuse spam policy in the eyes of Google. Here's another myth busted by this guide regarding purchases and trading brand mentions. If you thought automated paid or sketchy mentions were fooling AI, then you were really just fooling yourself. Google can dissect what the web genuinely reveals about your brand and any inauthentic mentions most often get ignored. A waste of time and energy, if you ask me. And lastly, the idea that structured data is mandatory. Surprise, surprise, it's a myth. Now, before the schema nerds start rioting, structured data is still genuinely useful for regular SEO and rich results. It just may not be your golden ticket into AI answers. Moving over to the technical aspects, there's nothing too surprising here. Start with the foundational standards, like making sure your content is indexable and crawlable. Apply semantic HTML to help screen readers parse and navigate pages better. Follow JavaScript best practices for sites where applicable. Provide a good page experience across all devices. And last but not least, eliminate or canonicalize any duplicate pages on the website. Now, if you're running a local business, this next step should definitely grab your attention. According to a Whitespark survey, at minimum, Google returns an AI overview for 57% of local searches. That's huge because it means the battle for local visibility isn't just happening in Maps anymore. It's inside AI-driven search features like Ask Maps and AI summaries as well. And soon we might see a shift to a completely agentic experience, with AI agents driving the entire local search cycle. So optimize your Google business profile, get listed in local directories, build proper location pages, and publish geotagged photos. So after all the hype, all the theories, and all the supposed GEO hacks, the takeaway is surprisingly simple. SEO still works, even in this new era of AI search. No need to reinvent the wheel, create useful content, make it accessible and crawlable, and offer something people can't get anywhere else. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment saying that you're not a robot, and if you are a robot, tell us what it's been like working with humans. Until next time, like, subscribe, notification bell. See ya. Someone suggested. Something.